Hello, and welcome to Read Us a Story. What shall we read today? How about Paw Patrol? Aqua pups. Dive into Puplantis. Dive into Puplantis. One sunny day in Adventure Bay, Captain Turbot was showing Ryder and some of the Paw Patrol how to tie knots. Tying knots is a terrific skill, he said. Just then, Mayor Goodway and Chickaletta showed up with a surprise. They were both wearing shiny pearl anklets. Your pearls are beautiful, Skye said to them. Ryder took a closer look at Chickaletta's anklet. Pearls come in plenty of colours, Captain Turbot announced. Wow, different colours, Ryder said, amazed. Where can we find them? Under the sea, in the magical city of Puplantis, Captain Turbot said. There's a huge shell which makes big pearls in all sorts of shades. The magic shell! While the pups learned about Puplantis, no one noticed that Mayor Humdinger was listening nearby. Mayor Humdinger had heard everything, and he wanted his own colourful pearl. He ran back to his foggy-bottom lair and made a plan.
"Get the RoboShark submarine ready to go to Puplantis," he said to his Kitten Catastrophe crew. "I'll need a disguise to fit in, so I don't look suspicious."
The kittens found a costume for the mayor, but he wasn't sure he liked it.
"This better be a really big pearl," he grumbled.
Mayor Humdinger and the kittens climbed into the RoboShark submarine and headed to Puplantis.
"The magic shell is in the castle," said the mayor. "I'll swim to it. You hide the submarine and wait for my signal on your kitty tags. I'll let you know if I need you to distract any mer pups."
The kittens nodded and meowed in agreement.
Meow.
Mayor Humdinger swam into the city and tried to blend in. He met a merpup named Coral, who was Skye's cousin. "It's marvellous to meet you," Coral said. "What's your name?"
I'm Mayor Humdinger from Humlantis." "Yes, that'll do," the mayor replied. "I was hoping to see the famous coloured pearls."
Coral took Mayor Humdinger to the castle and showed him the magic shell. Humdinger stole a purple pearl. Now it was time to get away. He quietly sent a message to the kitty tags.
"Kittens, I've got the pearl. It's mischief making time."
The kittens steered the RoboShark submarine into the city and sped towards the castle. Several merpups swam away to safety before the submarine knocked over a big statue of King Merpup. Coral couldn't believe her eyes. She knew she had to call Ryder for help. Ryder assembled the pups on the Paw Patroller and told them everything Coral had reported. The pups changed into their diving suits. "Aqua pups, ready for action, Ryder, sir," Chase declared. Robodog drove the Paw Patroller down to the shore and then pushed a button. The giant vehicle transformed into the Whale Patroller. It hit the water with a massive splash, then dived under the waves and headed to Puplantis. When the team reached the city, Ryder sent Rubble to push the statue of King Merpup back into place. "Bubble rubble on the double," the pup exclaimed. Using his hammerhead aqua rig, he quickly raised the big statue. Meanwhile, Skye used her manta ray drone to find the thieving Mayor Humdinger. "This aqua puppy's got to swim," she said gleefully. Mayor Humdinger had managed to escape the castle with the pearl, but the magic shell had followed him and clamped down on his tail. He couldn't fit through his submarine's hatch. Suddenly, a real shark approached.
"Kitties, get me inside now," shouted the mayor.
"Coral, I'm going to need you to suit up," Ryder said. "I thought you might." Coral replied. She was already in her seahorse vehicle, ready to go. Ryder and the pups raced to Mayor Humdinger's submarine. "I think that shark is just curious about the robo-shark," said Ryder. "Chase, try to lure it away." "I've never had a play date with a real shark before," Chase said as he got the shark to follow him. The real shark swam off with Chase. Ryder knew he had to get the magic shell to let go of Mayor Humdinger without hurting him. "Coral, can you use your bubble launcher?" he asked. Coral's bubble launcher released a stream of bubbles that tickled the magic shell. It started to shake and giggle. Then finally, it opened up. Mayor Humdinger swam free, but he dropped his pearl. Ryder grabbed it before he could reach it. "Sorry, this belongs to Puplantis," he said.
Brrr! Doesn't the Paw Patrol ever get tired of doing the right thing?
Grumbled Mayor Humdinger as he swam back to his submarine. Ryder and the pups returned the magic shell and its purple pearl back to the Puplantis castle. "Oh, thank you for rescuing our magic shell," Coral said. "Whenever your magic shell vanishes, just yelp for help," Ryder exclaimed. All the pups cheered, splashed, and bubbled in agreement. The end. And that was Paw Patrol Aqua Pups Dive into Puplantis. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, be sure and like the video. And remember, you can always subscribe to the channel at Read Us a Story. Thanks. Bye. Hello, and welcome to Read Us a Story. What shall we read today? How about Paw Patrol Snuggle Up, Pups? The stars were out, the moon was full, and everyone in and around Adventure Bay was getting ready for bed. Outside the town hall, Chase was helping folks get home safely. Even Mayor Goodway and Chickaletta. On the farm, Rubble and Sky were helping Farmer Uni and Farmer Al finish up their chores. "Time to hit the hay," Farmer Al said with a chuckle. On the way back to the lookout, Rubble slipped in the mud. "Oops! Time to get nice and clean again. Rub-a-dub-dub, I sure love the tub," he sang. "It's the best part of getting ready for bed." Across town at the porter's house, Alex was getting ready for bed too. "The Paw Patrol taught me that brushing keeps my teeth healthy and clean," he told his granddad. Up on Jake's mountain, Everest crawled under the blanket. She said goodnight to the penguins and to her pal Jake. Out in the jungle, Tracker got cosy on his bed. He said "Buenos noches" to the parrots and to his amigo Carlos. At the lookout, Ryder changed into his favourite pyjamas. He let out a big yawn. "Oh, Paw Patrol, let's roll. To bed." Everyone was clean and cosy. It was time for a story. The pups chose a book and gathered around Ryder so he could read to them. Sky took a turn reading to the pups too. Marshall gave his teddy a big hug, while Rubble settled down to sleep. Everest snuggled up, high on the mountain, and Rocky was cosy under his soft blanket. Sleep tight and turn out the lights. It's time to snuggle up, pups. The end. And that was Paw Patrol. Snuggle up, pups. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, be sure and like the video. And remember, you can always subscribe to the channel at Read Us a Story. Thanks. Bye! Hello, and welcome to Read Us a Story. What shall we read today? How about Thomas and the Muddy Mishap? This is the story of when Thomas needed help from a very special digger. It was the day of the invention fair on the island of Sodor. Sir Topham Hatt had given the engines important jobs to do. Alfie wanted to help too.
These jobs are best left to the steam team, said Sir Topham Hatt. You're a digger, Alfie. Digging is what you do best.
Alfie loved being a digger, but he sometimes felt his job wasn't important. He wanted to be like the steam team.
Thomas,
Alfie called out, can I help you with your job?
Oh, I'm carrying heavy loads today,
Thomas puffed.
You're built for digging, not pulling flatbeds.
So Alfie went to ask Nia if he could help her with her job.
Sorry, Alfie, I'm collecting cargo today,
said Nia.
You can't travel on tracks.
Suddenly, Gordon whooshed past.
Lots to do, lots to do, lots to do, lots to do,
puffed Gordon.
Can I help with your job?
Alfie called after him.
I'm picking up passengers, said Gordon, and you're not built to carry passengers.
Poor Alfie. Nobody wanted his help. He chugged slowly back to the construction site. Maybe diggers can't do important jobs after all, Alfie told Jack.
Digging is important too,
said Jack kindly. But Alfie didn't feel important at all. Meanwhile, the steam team were busy with their jobs. Beep, beep. Thomas raced up and down to the fair. Clickety-clack, 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 clickety-clack. Nia pulled the cargo. Faster, 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 faster. Gordon collected his passengers. Thomas was on his last delivery of the day. He was taking the prize trophy to the fair. Whoa! Thomas called out as he raced around a bend. He was going too fast. The trophy slid off the flatbed and Thomas came off the tracks. He landed with a squelch in a muddy bog. Help! Nia and Gordon soon heard Thomas's cries for help, but Thomas was stuck so deep in the mud the engines couldn't reach him. The job was too big, even for the steam team. Then Thomas had an idea. He suddenly knew exactly who could help. Nia, we need a digger! Over at the construction site, Alfie was busy digging when Nia screeched around the corner.
Alfie,
she puffed,
we need your help. It might just be the most important job on Sodor today.
Brum, 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 brum. Alfie raced up to the crash site as fast as his wheels would go. Muddy rescue, here I come! He sang out. In no time at all, Alfie was doing what he did best. Digging. Digga, 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 dig, dig, diggity, dig. Soon Alfie had freed Thomas from the mud. Rocky the Crane arrived and lifted Thomas back onto the track.
Oh, thank you, Rocky and Alfie.
Thomas blushed, but then he looked worried.
The trophy! It's still in the mud.
Another dig was no problem for Alfie. He dug until he saw a glimmer of gold in his scoop. One muddy job complete, beamed Alfie. A very muddy Thomas and Alfie finally rolled up to the invention fair. All the passengers cheered when they saw Alfie with his trophy in his scoop. You rescued Thomas, and you saved the fair, Alfie, said Sir Topham Hatt. Everyone has an important part to play on Sodor, especially diggers. Alfie suddenly felt proud to be a digger. He might not be able to ride on the tracks or pick up passengers, but Alfie could dig, and being a digger was a big and important job after all.
Hooray for Alfie!
Thomas cheered. Beep, beep. And that was Thomas the Tank Engine. Thomas and the Muddy Mishap. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, be sure and like the video. And remember, you can always subscribe to the channel at Read Us a Story. Thanks. Bye! Hello, and welcome to Read Us a Story. What shall we read today? How about Thomas the Tank Engine? Thomas and Bruno. It was a sunny day on the island of Sodor. Bruno was busy with his favourite activity, memorising the train schedule. Khan is delivering food to the fair, he said to himself. The rocks in Crumble Canyon are extra crumbly today. Thomas and his friends sped past playing train tag.
Want to play?
Thomas asked Bruno. You engines are too fast, Bruno said. I'm a breaker. My job is to slow things down. Just then, Gordon rolled up in a hurry. We have an important, urgent delivery, he said. Bruno remembered the train schedule. There are no deliveries scheduled right now, he pointed out. You're right, Gordon replied. But Vickerstown Lighthouse needs a replacement light before sundown. We need someone strong and fast to take it. Diesel pulled up. No one's faster and stronger than me, he bragged. I'm on it. Gordon told Bruno to go with Diesel to keep him safe. What's the fastest route, Bruno? Diesel asked. It would normally be Crumble Canyon, but, said Bruno. Great, Diesel interrupted. He coupled up with Bruno in the flat car holding the light. Before Bruno could say another word, they were off. Thomas saw that Diesel didn't let Bruno finish what he was saying about Crumble Canyon before they sped away. Uh-oh, he said, worried. Thomas decided to follow them. As Diesel approached the canyon, Bruno finished his warning. We shouldn't go this way, he said. There could be avalanches. I'm not scared of a few falling rocks, Diesel scoffed. I'm faster. Thomas followed Diesel and Bruno into the canyon. The rumbling sound of Diesel's fast wheels was loosening the rocks above. Diesel tried to speed up, thinking he could outrun the rock slide. Bruno slammed on the brakes to stop Diesel before the rocks fell on top of them. The sound of his screeching brakes was so loud, Bruno puffed on headphones from his stovepipe to muffle the sound. Bruno and Diesel finally slid to a halt just as a pile of boulders tumbled across the tracks in front of them. Oh, that was close, Diesel said. Thanks, Bruno. Bruno couldn't hear him with his headphones on. Diesel raised his voice. Thank you, he yelled. Thomas caught up to his friends as Diesel's loud voice rang through the canyon. The sound of Diesel's yell loosened even more rocks above. Thomas slammed on his brakes as they started to fall. Thomas stopped just in time, but now an even bigger pile of boulders covered the tracks behind Bruno and Diesel. They were safe, but they were trapped between two piles of fallen boulders. If we're late delivering the lamp, the boats will be late delivering to the docks, Bruno said nervously. Thomas knew Bruno loved talking about the day's delivery.
Why don't you tell me the schedule?
Thomas suggested. As Bruno remembered everyone's schedule, he became calmer and calmer. I feel better, Bruno said, but we still need to deliver this light.
I'll go for help,
Thomas said.
Sandy and Carly will be able to move these rocks.
He puffed away.
I should have listened to you, Bruno,
Diesel admitted.
I have to slow down.
Maybe I shouldn't have braked, Bruno said. You're fast. You might have made it.
Trying to go fast and slow at the same time.
Diesel said, laughing.
It's not the best teamwork.
That gave Bruno an idea.
Maybe we should go fast and slow again, he said.
If the sound of my screeching brakes could loosen the rocks from above, it might loosen them from tracks too.
It was worth a try. Bruno and Diesel coupled back up. Diesel chugged forward as fast as he could. Bruno held his brakes firmly in place, holding Diesel back. Another loud screeching sound echoed through the canyon, and the rocks around them began to rumble. It worked. The rocks fell to either side of the tracks, clearing the way. Diesel, Bruno and the light could finally make it out of the canyon.
Let's roll,
Diesel said. When Thomas returned to the canyon, his friends were already gone. Sandy and Carly got to work clearing away the rest of the rocks. Diesel and Bruno were so proud when they delivered the light and saw the lighthouse lit up. Thanks to them, the boats would safely make it to the docks. Soon the schedule would be back on track. Later that night, Diesel and Bruno met up with their friends.
You made it,
Thomas peeped.
How did you get out?
We went fast and slow, Bruno said.
Yes,
Diesel smiled.
We worked well together, and Bruno is great at his job.
And that was Thomas the Tank Engine. Thomas and Bruno. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, be sure and like the video. And remember, you can always subscribe to the channel at Read Us a Story. Thanks.
Bye!